Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are discussing my top 10 favorite authors slash autobi authors, and then I'm also giving you guys the first book that I read by them and my favorite book by them. Outside it is really bright right now because it's like snowing, so like a lot of the sun is like reflecting off of the snow, so like it's hard to see. Okay, so none of these are in a particular order. Like I don't have like a favorite, and even if I did, I didn't write them in that order. Let's begin. So the first one is Lauren Asher, and the first book that I read by her is The Fine Print. I rated it a 4-star. This is a part of the Dreamland Billionaire series, and basically there's these three brothers. They're the Kane brothers, right? I think so. And basically their grandfather died, and in his will sent letters to like these three brothers, and for them to basically own a part of the like Dreamland park. It's kind of like Disney. In order to get their share of it, they have to do a task that is in their letter from their grandfather. And yeah, so this one's about Rowan and Zara. Okay, so Rowan's task is to basically renovate the park and make it better. And so he hires Zara. It was really good. I like this whole series and whatever, but this one was not my favorite. My favorite was the second one in the series, which is Terms and Conditions. Basically this is about Declan and Iris. I rated this a 4-star before I continue. So this is about Declan and Iris, and basically Declan's task is to get married and have a family. Well, I don't think he has to have kids, but he definitely has to get married. So here comes Iris, his assistant, I believe, and she volunteers to fake marry him so then he can get his share. So this is definitely this is my favorite because I love fake marriage. That's like one of my favorite tropes. Next is Holly Jackson. I own every single book of hers and I've read every single book. The first one I read is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I rated this a 4-star. Love the entire trilogy except the last book in the trilogy, but let's not talk about that because I've rambled on about it so many times. But anyways, this is about Pip, and she basically decides that for her school project she is gonna solve a case that happened years ago. So you basically go with her throughout this book, finding clues, investigating things, interviewing people, and then she also like recruits the guy that died, his brother. So like they're working together to kind of do this. My favorite one is 5 Survive. I rated this a 4 as well. This is basically about a group of 6 kids are going on a trip for like their March break or something, and they basically get stuck somewhere, like they get stranded somewhere in an RV. I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to spoil a lot, but you basically, this whole book takes place in one night, which is a great concept because like it's so fast paced and whatever. But I think I read it in like one sitting, and I remember at one point I was just like scared because I was reading it at night and I was home alone, and I was just like, I can't do this. Next is Anna Huang. I own every single one of her books except The Striker. Don't know why I don't own that, but whatever. I've only read her Twisted series, but so the first book is obviously Twisted Lies. That's the first book I read by her. I rated it, apparently I rated it a 5, but looking back on it, I think I would rate it a 4. This is about Alex and Ava, and basically Alex is Ava's best brother's best friend, so it's a best friend's brother romance. My words are jumbling, I can't do this. Anyways, So Ava gets stranded somewhere like one day, and here comes Alex, and he picks her up and whatever, and then Ava's brother is worried for her because he, I think, moved away to go to college or something. I don't remember. But so he basically sent Alex to take care of Ava. And so Alex moves into the house that's next door to her. Because I think it's her brother's house. So he, like, kind of moves in to, like, keep an eye on her. Yeah. Apparently this whole series is considered a dark romance. You wouldn't know looking at the covers. I can see why it's kind of considered a dark romance, but, like, I've also read way darker romances. So, like, if you're wanting to, like, start out, I guess this is a good series to, like, start dark romance, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Twisted Love. And then my favorite is Twisted Lies. I rated it a 5, and I will continue to rate it a 5. It is my favorite in this series. This is about... I can't remember their names. So this is about Christian and Stella. Something happens to Stella where, like, someone's stalking her, I think, or trying to kill her. I don't remember. Either one of those things. Anyway, so Christian offers to let her stay in his apartment, which is very unusual because Christian is a very private person and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so he lets her live in his apartment, and I think they end up fake dating at one point. I don't remember. I love how this is, like, my favorite in the series, and I don't remember it that much. But that's because I literally read this 2 years ago, guys. Next is Sarah J. Maas. I own every single one of her books. I've only read the ACOTAR series, and I have not even finished it yet. I will read A Court of Silver Flames soon. I promise. But my first book by her was A Court of Thorns and Roses. I rated this a 4. At the time, when I was reading this, I was like, this is a 5-star. But then I read the rest of the series, and I was like, actually, this is going to be a 4. I don't make the rules. Except I do. But whatever. 4 stars. This is about Farah. She kills a wolf one day because she's trying to provide for her family. And apparently that wolf was a fae. And so here comes a fae coming to kidnap her from her house. Well, actually, he gave her options. He was like, either I kill you and your family, or I kidnap you and bring you to my land. So he kidnaps her, brings her to the fae land, and now she's kind of stranded there, and she's like trying to figure out what to do. She's like, I don't know how to survive in this fae land because I am human. My favorite one, so this was a toss-up, but I decided A Court of Mist and Fury is my favorite. It's a 5-star. It will continue to be a 5-star forever. Tamlin who? That's all I'm going to say. If you guys read ACOTAR, you'll understand what I'm saying. But anyway, so this is the second book in the ACOTAR series, and you're still following Farah. You're still in her point of view, but basically it follows the ending of this one, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but basically now she has to go to the night court every... I think it's once a month for like a week or something. I don't know. But she ends up not going to the night court. Like, something happens where she's like, why am I not being transported here? I'm like still in the spring court, whatever. And then she ends up having a panic attack, and she gets kidnapped by Rhysand, and she's now in the night court. Next is Lynn Painter. My first book by her was The Do-Over. This one's really cute. It's like a really quick, easy read. I remember so vividly I was doing schoolwork for like my business class in college, and I did not want to do schoolwork. I just wanted to binge read this. Anyways, I rated this a 4. It's really cute. It's basically a Groundhog Day situation, so like she keeps waking up and reliving the same day over and over again. But I feel like it wasn't very that oh my god. It wasn't that repetitive. Like, I feel like a lot of situations where it's like them reliving the same day over and over again, you're kind of like, okay, I'm kind of tired of this, but it wasn't repetitive. Same things were happening, but not in the same way. Like, it was like the same but different every single day. I don't know. But this also takes place as Valentine's Day. But anyways, what happens is it's Valentine's Day, she goes to school and she sees that her boyfriend is cheating on her. So she's obviously devastated and blah blah blah. And also, like, things keep happening every day where, like, things go wrong. Like, before she gets to school, she crashes into this guy's truck. And then she gets to school, and then she finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her. And so then she, like, every single day when she wakes up and she realizes that it's the same day and she can redo it, she keeps going out of her way to try not to crash into this guy's truck, because she must, if something changes, then obviously her boyfriend's never going to cheat on her. But no, still cheats on her, blah, blah, blah. And then one day she just kind of, throughout the time, she gets feelings for this guy that she crashed into. And then, so one day she's just like, you want to just skip school? And they do. My favorite one, though, was Betting on You. These both are from her YA books. She writes YA books, and then she also writes adult books. I like both. A lot of people only like her YA books. I like them both. It doesn't matter. But I also rated this a 4-star. This is about Charlie and Bailey. Her parents got a divorce, and I think she's traveling or whatever, because her dad moved to a different, like, state or something, so she has to travel. Anyways, on the plane, she meets this guy, which is Charlie, and they did not get along whatsoever. And then fast forward years later, they meet again, and they're kind of like they don't get along that well. Anyways, he ends up working at the same place as her, and yeah, and then she doesn't like her stepfather, like, at all, so she wants him to, like, leave. So then Charlie's like, well, then make his life miserable at home and whatever. And so she fake dates Charlie, because apparently that's the only way that gonna make the stepfather miserable. I don't know. And then they end up going on vacation together because her mom and stepfather are going on vacation, invited her obviously to go, and then she's like bringing Charlie to ruin the whole vacation. Anyways, I don't know what's going on. The next person is Abby Jimenez. My first book by her was Yours Truly, and this is also coincidentally my favorite book by her. It's a 5-star. I've only read this one and Just for the Summer, and both of them are 5 stars, but I think this one is just a little bit better. In my opinion, I love it more. And I do want to read more by her, and I do want to buy, like, her books. It's just the fact that I'm trying to save money, so I haven't. Anyways, this is about Brianna and Jacob, and they're both doctors, and he basically gets transferred to this hospital. I don't know why, but anyways, he doesn't fit in. I don't know. A lot of people were, like, calling him Dr. Death because, like, every single one of his patients would die on the first day and whatever. So yeah, but he has a lot of anxiety and has a hard time expressing his emotions, and she really did a good job with putting those feelings into words. And then her life is just falling apart. Like, Brianna's life is just falling apart because she got a divorce, and her brother is not doing okay, needs a kidney transplant, I believe, and then he ends up donating that kidney, but, like, anonymously. So yeah. Next is Sophie Lark. My first books by her were The Sinner's Duet. I'm putting them together because, well, this book has both of them together, but I also read both of them within 24 hours of each other, so I'm just like putting them together. This is a special edition by Larry Reed's and Eternal Embers collab. I don't think you can get it anymore, so if you don't have it, I'm so sorry. Who's this about? Mara and Cole. They're both artists, so they're both at the same like party for like arts. And Cole is intrigued by her, and another guy sees that Cole is intrigued, and so he kidnaps her. The guy kidnaps Mara and like just leaves her on the side of the road, like tied up and whatever, for Cole to find her and kill her, I guess. And then he doesn't kill her and actually stalks her and whatever. And then throughout the book, he's trying to save her from this guy that kidnapped her. Because the guy thinks that she's dead this whole time, but then sees her and is like, obviously Cole has feelings for her, so I'm going to try to kill her. Anyways, I rated them both 4 stars, so it's like a 4-star together. That was very loud and aggressive. My favorite book, though, is Brutal Prince. This is a part of the Brutal Birthright series. There's 6 of them, and they're all mafia romances. This one's my favorite. It's the most memorable. Like, they all really jumble together, but this one didn't. I also rated this a 4-star. I love all of her books because they're like so fast-paced. I can read them in a day, really. Anyways, this one is about Callum and Ada. Basically, Callum and Ada are both a part of different mafia families, and their families are rivals. And basically, Ada crashes the birthday party of one of the girls from the rival family, and Callum, something happens where Ada sets the house on fire by accident and steals a watch that Callum really loves and whatever and cherishes. So then he tries to go kill Ada and Ada's brother, and it doesn't work, obviously. And then both families come to the conclusion that they need to be civil with each other. So the only way that that can happen is if Ada and Callum get married. So it's an arranged marriage type of situation. And I vividly remember one scene where they're literally about to get married, and Ada finds out that Callum is allergic to strawberries. So she eats a bunch before she walks down the aisle, and then when they kiss, he gets an allergic reaction and almost dies. And I found that very funny. I remember that, and that's why there's strawberries all over. Yep, love it. Next is Lila Sage. My first book by her was Done and Dusted. I rated it a 4 stars. This is about Clementine, but they call her Emmy throughout the book, and Luke. Basically, Clementine moves back to her small town because she's having a hard time with anxiety and whatever every time she rides a horse, because she's a professional, like, horse rider, like, to go in competitions and whatever. Something happened where she, like, almost died while riding a horse, so now she has a bunch of anxiety when she goes onto a horse. So now she moved back to her hometown to hopefully, like, get over her fear and whatever. And then Luke owns this bar, the only bar in their small town, and basically, like, sees her come back and is like, holy fuck, like, what are you doing back, and blah blah blah, because, like, he's also her brother's best friend, but they're also enemies, sort of, I think. Brother's best friend romance, I don't think they're enemies, but they just strongly dislike each other. Like, they're not friends, but they're not enemies either, if that makes sense. Anyways, I don't really remember what happens to make them get together, but I think he helps her through, like, get over her anxiety because he also works on the ranch that her dad owns, like, in his spare time. Anyways, so it's kind of like forced proximity too. Anyways, my favorite one is Lost and Lassoed. It's in the same series. So this is about, I also rated this a 4-star. This is about Teddy and Gus. Yep. Teddy is Clementine's best friend, and Gus is Clementine's brother. Anyways, this is an enemies to lovers, and essentially Teddy loses her job, and now she just doesn't know what to do, and Gus is a single dad, but like he co-parents really well with like the baby mama and stuff, but the baby mama has to go somewhere else for the summer or whatever, so he is basically needing to take care of this kid all by himself while also trying to take care of the ranch because he's like trying to own it one day and whatever. So he's having a lot of responsibility and he can't do it all. So Clementine, she's like, Teddy just lost her job, she can take care of the child. And Gus is like, no fucking way, like that's not gonna happen. I hate Teddy, I would rather die, essentially. And long story short, Teddy ends up being the nanny for the summer, and she has to live there for like a few days every single week to take care of her, like the child and whatever. And then they end up becoming friends and being civil before they become lovers. So that's what I loved about it. They weren't like enemies and then immediately into lovers. They were enemies and then they got along, became friends, understood each other, and then became lovers. Last but certainly not least is Elsie Silver. I own all of her books, but I've literally only read this one book, which is Off to the Races. This is the first book in her very first series. This is about Billy and Vaughn. Basically, what happens? Billy needs a job, so she contacts one of the guys that work on the ranch and whatever, because he also used to take care of her. Like he's almost like a father to her, so she knew that he would help her. And so she goes there to get an interview and whatever. Vaughn owns the ranch, I'm pretty sure, and he doesn't like her for some weird reason. I don't remember why, but it's an enemies to lovers type of thing. And basically throughout the book, she's trying to prove herself to him that she can do a good job. And yeah, I rated this a 4 as well. And I'm excited to read the rest of the series in the summer. I think he doesn't like her because he wants to be with her. So those are my top 10 favorite authors that I will continue to buy every single book that they put out. Or I want to buy every single book that they put out. I hope you got some recs. I hope I introduced you to some new authors that maybe you haven't tried but you want to try. Yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.